In the wake of the Parkland shooting and many other school shootings, a security crackdown is coming to Polk County schools. Next week, when middle and high schoolers go back to class, they may be randomly checked for weapons. This procedure will happen in at least one school every day. Fox 13's Ken Suarez is live for us this evening at Polk School District headquarters, where Ken, the superintendent, just made this announcement today. Tell us about it.
Well, it's kind of a round-robin situation. One day it may happen at George Jenkins High School, for example, maybe the next day at Southwest Middle School. But starting next week, as you said, Chris, every single day somewhere in Polk County, kids are going to be randomly picked to be wanded to make sure they're not carrying a gun or other weapon. Just to make sure it's random, administrators, maybe the principal or assistant principal, would be positioned at one entrance at one point in the day, at a second door later in the day. They could pick every 10th kid to be checked or every 15th. Polk superintendent emphasizes they're not doing this because the schools here in Polk are unsafe.
We believe strongly this sends a message counter that this is an additional layer of protection that should provide reassurance to our students, staff, and parents that our campuses are more safe than ever before.
Cracking down on security is not a bad thing because we have a reality where, you know, these things happen. And so we want to make sure that our kids are safe.
Now, let's say you're a parent and your kid was wanded on a particular day. The superintendent says that you will get a written notice that night so you are in the loop on things. If this was instituted last year, a lot of kids would have come home with that paperwork. Listen to this. Last year, 214 kids were found to have weapons on them of some sort. Not necessarily to cause any kind of harm, though. Administrators also confiscated 44 weapons that kids were carrying with the intent to do harm. Of that number, 6 were guns. Now, that doesn't really take into consideration a whole different category, and that is the kids who in previous years have kind of flown under the radar bringing some kind of a weapon to school. The superintendent says with this new wanding effort, hopefully those will be caught as well. Chris?
Yeah, it also, Ken, doesn't obviously address the threat that we've seen in places like Uvalde where someone is coming from the outside onto campus. Did they talk about hardening any of the security measures around the perimeter of the schools?
Not in this particular news conference, but I think what they're saying is let's take one piece of the pie now, try to take care of that, and then maybe move on to some other things. But they did talk a little bit about putting up more security cameras and that kind of thing, but not to any great degree. The effort at this point is this wanding situation.
Keeping the weapons out. Okay. Ken Suarez live for us. Thanks, Ken.